the
power
beautiful
through.
thing about the body is that it knows how to heal. The
Yes.
question is, are you giving it the support that it needs to do its own healing magic?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of High Vibin' It. It's Kelsey Aida and Lynnsey here, your lovable co-hosts for the show. We were going to record yesterday, but we were both sick. And so we decided, since we were feeling a little better, we would come on, stuffy noses and all, and do a sick show. So yay for
Do
you
a sick
guys.
show in the spirit of authenticity.
Yes, we're going to do kind of what we do when we're sick, how we take care of ourselves, and the things we like to supplement, the activities we like to do or not do to help you take care of yourself and your soul while you are sick.
Self
Yes?
care for sick days. I think that's
Yay.
what we might title it, something along those lines. But yeah, we just thought it would be fitting, especially with the holidays coming up and with winter here in the States. That
Yeah.
is a time when we are all more likely to get run down or get stressed or get sick or be eating bad and then get sick or whatever it is. So I think this is a really timely episode.
Yeah.
So if you
I
want
don't
to have your most high vibe sick experience, then here we are.
I don't know about you guys, but everybody I've talked to has said, I'm sick too. I'm sick too. Oh my gosh, I'm sick too. And I was telling Kelsey, I thought it was just because I had germy kids coming home from school, but apparently everybody is feeling it. So, uh, very timely episode, like Kelsey said. We've been making some notes. Plus, we've actually been doing it. So I think this will be a really, really easy. Look, we're reaching for the low hanging fruit today because I ain't got the energy to be doing some kind of interview or whatever. So I think it's a good one. Let's go.
We're just going with the flow, you know, in
Why
the
does low
spirit of
hanging fruit
self
always
care.
sound dirty, by the way? To me, it just sounds really dirty. Reaching for the low hanging fruit. No, just
No,
me.
that's supposed to be like the
No, I know what
easiest
it's
ones
supposed
to
to be.
grab,
I know what it's supposed to be. It just
especially
always
when you're a
sounds
shorty.
wrong. Yes, exactly like me. So we've been talking a little bit before the show, but let's just dive right into it. So what should we start with? Where should we go with this? The first thing that you do when you're sick. I know I look in my cabinet for vitamins and like
Yeah.
supplements I can take.
Yeah, I think support is good. I would say first thing I do is just try to make it okay that I'm sick.
Mm-hmm.
Release the resistance to the present moment and the reality of where we're at. Because a lot
Yeah.
of times when you're a go getter, when you're busy, when you feel like you don't have the time, it can be, feel like an inconvenience to be sick, especially in our society and culture where it's like go, 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 hustle, hustle, work, work. There's no seasonality to the workflow
Yeah.
like how there should be, like how nature works, even though we are seasonal creatures and we're a part of nature. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's good first and foremost to just take into consideration that like this happens, it's okay, it's the body's way, especially if it's like a little cold or a little flu, like it's the body's way of releasing toxins and releasing
Yeah.
the energetic buildup. And ultimately, on the other side, like hopefully you'll be more healthy, is the idea. That's why your body does this like natural cleanse. So instead of resisting, just being like, okay, slowing
Yeah.
down to the moment, here's where we're
And
at. I'm not gonna judge myself or shame myself. I'm just gonna take really super good
or
care of
try to do
myself.
too much. And this is like most of our shows, it's really good that you and I are both here.
And both sick at the same time,
Well, it's
conveniently.
yeah, because we are very similar, but we say this a lot. Like you and I are so different in our lifestyles. You are like, I'll just take it. Well, I'm obviously giving you. I'm just assuming that you're able probably to take a day off more so than me because guess what? I still have to get my kids ready for school. No matter how I feel, I still have to make them breakfast. I still have to take them to school, make sure they have the pants that they didn't wear yesterday, which Jack did today. He wore the same exact jeans with rips in the knees, and I let him wear them once a week because they're his favorite jeans. But then he's got to wear different jeans, but he came down with the same jeans, so I had to find him different jeans. And guess what? We didn't have any, so then I had to wash some jeans and give him a pair of Graysons because my 4-year-old is the same size as my 6-year-old, incidentally. Anyway, that's the point I'm trying to make is things happen. We know, especially if you have other people in your life that expect things from you, especially kids and family. We get it. You're gonna have to do stuff still, but the main point is take the time when you can take the time. Take the time to just be and do nothing and lay around because guess what? Your body needs to rest. It needs to, no matter what kind of sick you are, no matter what's going on in your life. If you're sick, you have to rest. You have to have those fluids and you have to take care of yourself. So everybody's different. Everybody's life is different. There is always some space that you can take to get well and
And
not
the
power
beautiful
through.
thing about the body is that it knows how to heal. The
Yes.
question is, are you giving it the support that it needs to do its own healing magic?
Hmm.
AKA, are you getting sleep? Are you taking the things off your plate that you can? Are you maybe, resting, or maybe sometimes exercise is what's needed to get your
Yeah.
system going. Maybe the sauna will help you clear some stuff. Like,
A hot
what
shower,
self-care
man,
things?
does
Oh,
wonders.
yes. What self-care things can you do to give your body that boost that it might need when it's a little run down to fight off the sickness and the
What
gunk?
so let's talk about like our favorite things to take.
Mm.
So I know jumping right off of like our supplement life will never be the same after you know what, the plague because we have
True.
because everywhere you looked on the internet for a long time was like, here's what you do, here's what you take, here's how to do it. And so a lot of people bought stuff that now they just have sitting around that you can use for a cold. Like I've never ever taken zinc before in my life. But when somebody said it would be really great if you got the C word, can we just say it now? I don't know. Can we? I think we can. I get on some like I play this game where I get on it's like a server chat and you're not allowed to even type it in. So
Mm.
I don't even know like if it's safe, but I think we should just say it. Right? Corona or COVID? What do you want to say? Oh, you're muted, girl.
I just call it the Rona.
The Rona. Okay, I like that. The Rona. So I still had some zinc. So then I started taking some zinc. Black seed oil, I just take every day anyway with my multivitamin because when we had, that wonderful guest on the show who's like, I asked him if you could only take two supplements for the rest of your life, what would they be? And he said black seed oil. And I don't remember the other. Was it turmeric that he said? I can't remember. But
Probably.
but I knew I didn't have the one, so I bought it and it was black seed oil. Apparently it's like magic, you guys. And I just take it every day anyway. But yeah, those two I think are my biggest zinc and black seed oil are what I've been taking when I really, really want to just knock it out quickly. Also teas, especially if your throat hurts like mine has with the drainage. I know we're kind of talking obvious, but my favorite tea is throat coat by what is it, Herbal Remedies? What's it called? Do you know? See, I don't
Mm,
look at labels.
I
I
don't know.
should.
I've been drinking one from Sprouts, which is a store that I like here, and they have an organic throat aid one. I don't even
Ooh.
remember what's in it because I lost the box and I just have the actual teas that don't say the ingredients. But
Oh, you know a really cool natural remedy that I make for like a cough medicine slash throat easer? My mom taught it's like an old family recipe, and I've looked it up on the internet, and I think it's like a German one. But you basically just you cut an onion in half. It doesn't really matter what kind. You could do a white onion or a red onion or a brown onion. You put it in a pan, just cut in half like that. And then you pour honey over it until you've completely covered the onion. But okay, now I'm not making sense. Until you cover the bottom part of the onion. So like half an inch maybe, and just in a little saucepan, not a lot, not a lot, not a big one. Or a little yeah, saucepan. And then you just let it simmer. You can add garlic to it. You can add I've seen people add like sprouts or anything that is like natural vegetable because you're just gonna like drink the juice, the honey juice. Um, but I usually just add onion and garlic. Yes, you could add celery or whatever. And then you just let it simmer for like 15 minutes until it becomes like a liquid. And you just take a spoonful, like you would cough medicine, and you just drink it. I remember I used to hate it as a kid, but now I smell it and I'm like, God, it smells so good to me. And I don't know
smells
why.
like health.
It does. It really does. And it's so natural and it really, really, really works wonders. My kids, of course, don't like it, but I make them do it anyway because I mean, I would so much rather give them that than NyQuil or something, or than like any kind of cough syrup that has just nonsense in it.
Yeah, I try
Um,
not to take cough syrup unless I absolutely need to. I just
yeah.
literally take a spoonful of honey to soothe my throat,
Yeah.
like, before I go to bed, and that just works magic, especially because I love to get, like, local honey, fresh
Yep.
honey, honey from
Lemon, that's
people that
another
I
one I forgot.
know.
You could put lemon in it too. So, I mean,
Mhm.
if you I'll put the recipe on the Patreon if you guys want, just
Yeah, you should put it.
what I do. That'll be a really cute bonus, I guess.
So
You guys can
cute.
have my my natural cough syrup recipe, but I did get it from my mother who got it from her mother, and apparently it's a really really old thing
I
that
like
people
it.
do. And onion and garlic are like ancient remedies for all kinds of things. So I'm down. I dig it for sure.
Yeah, and to preface this, because I know we need to say this because this is a popular podcast, we're not doctors. Consult with your doctor, consult with your physician, consult with whoever, do your own
Yeah.
research. We are just sharing what we like to do. So,
And in another preface, if you're bleeding from your eyeballs, the cough syrup will not help you. You should go to the hospital. Like this is for colds. We're talking about like the common
we're
cold. We're talking
talking the
about sore
common
throats.
cold.
So use your judgment. You're smart humans. I trust you. Um, yeah. So that is something I'll put in the Patreon too.
Another good, so some things that I've been doing and making at home, celery juice. I love it.
She talks about
It's
celery juice, and I know that there are some listeners who use it. I don't hate it. It's just
Yeah, it doesn't
not
have
as
a strong flavor.
yeah. I've seen some strong opinions on celery juice though, for sure. There are people on very extreme sides of like, I hate it. I can't believe anyone would ever do this to themselves. But like, it's supposedly really good, like good for you. Really healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I notice the difference when I drink it regularly. I feel like I have a lot of energy throughout the day. I feel really revitalized. There's a lot of like micronutrients and good salt in there when you juice it specifically that you
Yeah.
don't necessarily get right away from eating the whole celery. So I love celery juice.
Okay. So can we talk really quickly about like why it's so good? If you know, like, why is it so
I
magical?
read it from the medical medium in one of his books, and also I believe he wrote a whole book just about celery juice, so there's a lot to it. I don't know specifically the science behind why it's so amazing. I just know that it feels good when I
It
drink it,
feels good.
and I've
All
learned
right.
that there are many reasons why. Yeah.
I do have a juicer and I do have celery. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I could probably make some today.
It's
Especially
very
like
easy.
if I'm ever gonna do it, it's gonna be while I'm sick. So
Yeah.
because
Totally.
I'll do I'll do things that I wouldn't normally do just to feel better. So there we go.
Yes. Yes,
As we
totally.
most of us would.
And I also love making tea from fresh thyme, which I grow at my house. I just have a little thyme plant, and you can just flip it right off fresh. You don't even have to dry it. Rinse it off and then throw it in some boiling water and make a tea from it. And that really I feel like helps to speed up your healing time because I always like give that to my friends and family when they're sick, and I feel like everybody gets better faster.
I have time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I dried it and put it on my wall like a witch.
Make some tea.
Do you know they have herb hanging like racks on Amazon? I asked for one for Christmas. I want to put it in my kitchen and be
Amazing.
very, very witchy.
I love it.
I know. Yes, that's a good one. Thyme. I love
Yes.
thyme and rosemary. It's a very British thing in my
Yes.
head to
And
do.
speaking of herbs, did you know, and I just learned this from my friend slash client, Kyung. She's a certified nutritionist and basically she studies Chinese medicine. So I call her my Chinese witch doctor, Chinese witch magic doctor. She is not Chinese, but Chinese medicine is what I mean by that. And she was saying that not all teas are created equal because a lot of times they harvest the leaf too early and you don't get
Whoa.
all the nutrition of the tea. So if you get headaches when you drink certain teas, it's usually because it's not good quality because they didn't harvest
Interesting.
it at the right time.
I did
So,
not know that.
yeah, definitely splurge on the better quality teas.
So how do you know if
Um,
it's a better quality? Probably just like organic or something.
Yeah, if
Who's
it's
gonna take the care,
organic,
you know?
on the box, she said some brands will say if they harvest it, like, at the perfect time, it's, like, a part of
Mm,
their branding,
okay.
um, and also, I mean, the obvious is, like, you get what you pay for, so probably don't buy, like, the least expensive tea, maybe go
Mm-hmm.
for the medium to higher price tea because those are probably most likely, generally speaking, going to be the better quality ones.
Unless it's sleepy time. Sleepy time is a winner. 10 out of
Sleepy
10.
time is a
5
winner.
stars. Would recommend for all occasions, even when you're sick. I love sleepy time. It's so amazing. My kids love it. I loved it as a kid. I love it today. You can't go wrong with sleepy time. I
And you
don't
can
like the
make your
vanilla
own
sleepy time.
teas if you're
Really?
growing herbs. Yeah, you
I
just buy like I have these little cotton
want
bags.
to learn how to make tea, Kels.
You just dry the herbs and then you put it in water. It's not hard. So if you have a little cotton tea bag or, those metal ones that you put the loose leaf
I
tea
do.
in, yeah, you just have to harvest the herbs from your little plant
So
garden
just Google tea recipes. I'm going to do
and
that
you
too.
can either boil them fresh or you can dry them out and then boil them. But that's fun too if you want to get witchy with it.
I love getting witchy with it.
Yeah. And speaking of herbs, Lynnsey was asking me about this before the call. I'm taking, and this is something that Kyung recommended to me. I'm taking Supreme Protector by Dragon Herbs, which she said is great for your immune system all the time. This is something you can take every day. With the herbal supplements, the annoying thing is you have to take so many capsules so many times per day. So it's kind
Tell
of
them
like an
how
all
many,
day
Kels.
situation. Well, this one's only 3 capsules 2 times per day, but the other one I'm taking, Verugo Max, also from Dragon Herbs, is 4 capsules 3 times per day. So literally, I am loading up on the herb capsules over here.
Are they big?
No, they're not like horse pills.
Okay.
They're like medium size.
6
But yeah, and then
pills,
she also makes
12 pills.
herbal supplements too that I gave to Jeffrey for him to try. Since I was already taking all these, I was like, I'm not trying to really take like 20 herbs at a time, 20 pills at a time.
Yeah.
But these are by the brand Dragon Herbs, which she highly recommended. So I am taking them as prescribed by her. And yeah, they have interesting things in them. Like this one has reishi, schisandra, astragalus root. I don't even know what that is.
Sounds legit.
Cordyceps mycelium. I also don't know what that is, but this is all like Chinese medicine stuff. So a lot of herbs that you probably won't find like at the grocery store. And then the other one has Verugo Max is what it's called. It has so much stuff. Some turmeric, some raw Rehmannia root, some forsythia fruit, Isatis root, all different kinds of stuff. But yeah,
You can tell we're sick because our episode is literally just Kelsey reading ingredients off of a pill bottle. Guys, I'm so sorry.
And eating a cutie.
And
which
eating
brings
a cutie.
us to the diet aspect.
Indeed. I was just
segue.
Yeah. What can we ingest while we're sick? Of course, fluids. If you want to level up your fluid intake, tea or even just water with lemon is a huge detoxifier. So boom.
And you can drink thyme water. Even if you don't make it into a tea, you can let the thyme sit in the room temperature water overnight and then drink it the
and
next
then
day.
add some lemon.
And then it's like infused. Yeah, I like thyme and lemon together. It's nice.
Cute. Cuties. Vitamin
Yeah.
C, of course. Citrus
Yes.
fruits are packed with vitamin C. I'm trying to think of what I give to my kids to make sure because they're all sick too. Surprise. Everybody's sick in my house.
Fruits,
Vegetables.
soups. I've been making bone broth.
Yeah, you mentioned. Tell me how that's going because that's a huge health booster too.
Yeah, it's going well. So what I have learned about it is that on an energetic level, when you extract the energy / nutrients out of the bones and put it in your body, you're like fortifying the strength of like all your systems in your body.
Yeah, you mentioned like the bones are
speaking.
supposed to be like the life force, right? Or like the
Yeah, because the bones have like the strength, the support, the life force. And then typically people who eat animals should be like eating the whole animal, not just the muscle to get like the most nutritional value, but we don't typically do that. So when you make bone broth, you're getting more of the nutrition from the whole animal.
Yeah.
When you use like different types of bones in the broth. So really, I just asked my local meat guy who I get like the local organic grass-fed beef from here. in my town. And I asked him if he had any bones, and he said, yeah, we just sell them like $3 a bag. I was like, sweet, put my
Wow.
name on the list. So he gave me a couple of bags, and I just threw a whole bag of bones in the slow cooker, and then filtered water, and then a bunch of herbs, like to taste, like whatever you want to put in there. I have like fresh parsley and thyme, so I put those, and then onion for flavor, garlic for flavor, celery for flavor, carrot for flavor. And what else? Actually, I have the recipe here. I can
So
read
you're
it.
making a soup.
It's basically a soup. Yeah, but I don't like to eat the celery and the carrots and the onion. I just take those out because they get so soggy. I don't like when my vegetables are soggy in my soup.
You are so
So I strained it all. So okay, so I put celery, carrot, onion, garlic, herbs, parsley, thyme, like another herb mix that I have.
fun.
Oh, ginger, some fresh
Do the
ginger.
bones have to wait, do the bones have to be like raw before you make the bone broth?
They can
Like,
be roasted too.
could I take a rotisserie chicken, eat the chicken, and
Yes.
then make a broth out
Yes.
of that?
Yes, people
Because
do
I
that.
love the Costco rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, yeah. So you can just eat the chicken, and then the bones that you have left, like the carcass,
What
make
good idea.
broth from that. Yeah, it's a good like less waste policy too, because you're like
Mhm.
using it twice and using it
And you
for
don't have to
different.
be sick to ingest bone broth. I know
No,
of
it's
all
so
kinds
good
of
for your
people that
health to
just
do. You can even have it every day, and it's supposed to be like really good for you and your
huh.
skin. If you want to glow, I'm telling you.
The
Celery
vegans are really
juice,
mad at us
bone
right
broth.
now. What do we tell the vegans, Kels? I love a vegan. I just don't I
Make
don't know if there's
vegetable
an
soup.
yeah, I don't know if there's an
It's not
equivalent
going
to
to be the
bone broth.
same, but I mean, I would say do that instead.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying
I
to eat
mean,
this cutie, so just keep talking, and I'm going to mute myself.
okay, what should I say? Okay, so let's see, where are we at in our list? We got fluids, we got food, we got supplements. I mean, unless you can think of anything else, I think the next spot to go would be how to take care of your body and your soul while you're sick and try not to you're muted. Are you just
I
making fun
muted
of the
again.
way I said soul?
No, I just like that you were like getting really deep with this, taking
Your
care of your
soul.
soul on a
Well,
sick
because it is,
day.
isn't it? When you're sick, it's not just your physical body, but you feel a little run down. I know that I
Yeah.
get the most low vibration when I'm sick too,
Yeah.
because
And then you get those nasty thoughts creeping in.
totally, man. I worry
It's
more. I'm
terrible.
stressed out more, which is, the opposite of what you want, which is why the next piece of what we're going to talk about is like stress equals no, no, don't do it. Try not to do it. Of course, your things are stressful, but I would say don't take on a stressful project or a stressful as much as you can. Try to stay away from the more stressful aspects. Take a break, even if it's just a day or two. It will keep like whatever you have to do will still be there and it will be fine. Everything will still get done, but you do need you like we said before, you do need those moments to kind of just not have any expectation on yourself, not have any responsibility, uh, to let your body and your soul kind of get back up to where you want to be.
Well, and a lot of the time, the reason why we get sick is because we don't take breaks. We don't listen to those subtle nudges. We don't live in alignment with our
Yeah.
energy flow. And you need what you need. You can't unneed what you need. So if you don't give yourself what you need, which is rest, your body's going to make it happen for you and say, okay, now we're going to be
Yeah.
sick. So you absolutely have to rest. And that's what we're going to do because that's what
I
we
wouldn't
need.
say, yeah, I wouldn't say that the only that you I know you're not saying this, but we're not saying that the only time you get sick is when you are not listening to your body. We are saying that when you're not listening to your body or keeping yourself taken care of energetically and physically, you are more susceptible. Your immune system is more susceptible to getting a bug because you're just not, unfortunately, not taking care of yourself the way you should be. And none of us can all the time. So we're not saying like
We're
blame
not
yourself.
expecting
No, 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 no.
perfection here.
No, 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 no. Everyone gets sick because nobody's perfect and it just happens. It just happens. But to help yourself through it and to maybe help yourself not get sick in the future, make sure that you are taking care of yourself. If you are taking care of yourself, you'll probably still get sick, but the chances are less because you won't be as susceptible. Am I making sense? I don't know. I'm on cold
Yes.
medicine, guys.
Yes. And to just piggyback off of what you're saying, the way that I've been looking at, little colds and bugs here and
Mhm.
there is it's like your body's way of detoxing. So when you're
Yeah.
sick, it's not necessarily that there's something always wrong with you. It could
Yeah.
be your body is performing at the most optimal function and knowing when to get rid of the bad stuff that you've been holding on to. Like,
Yeah.
literally, how good does it feel to blow your nose when you're sick and just get it all out? Like, there's something to that. And I think on a metaphysical level, it's like the body knows when you need a cleanse. And so
Mhm.
when you get a little bug, that's like your body doing the thing that it's meant to do. And,
Yeah.
the whole narrative is like, oh, that means you're unhealthy. There's something wrong with you in this moment when maybe your body is just performing at optimal speed, like doing its own self cleanse.
Kels, remember the last time you were sick and you were feeling like super low vibe also? And I was like, listen, every time you blow your nose, just visualize all the bad energy and the bad snot coming out.
Yes. And the
Like,
bad thoughts
and
coming
all
out of
the
my
bad,
brain into
yeah,
the
all the
tissue.
negative energy and the negative, you know, what do I want to say? What are they called? The little, I want to say embodiments, but that's not the word. That's not right. The little not pathogen, I guess. The little bugs, okay, the little
The
germs coming
little
out
bugs. You can
with
tell we're really scientific about this.
gosh, I'm just not you can I hope the listen if this is your
Mm.
first episode that you're listening to us, please, please, please don't judge us on this episode. I'm not myself today. I'm trying, and I think that's all we can do. We are showing up.
Well, and when you told me that, it was so helpful because when you're in the storm, you forget, right? So,
Yeah.
like, I was sick and I was having all these negative thoughts. And, like, luckily, right now, I'm just feeling a little down physically, but not mentally. But, when you get
Yeah.
really sick and all those negative thoughts come into your head, and you just feel like shit and you feel like you're a piece of shit, and the whole thing just goes downhill really fast. It was super helpful when you reminded me, like, when you're in a low vibe state, you're probably gonna be a match to low vibe thoughts. So, like, this is not the truth
Mhm.
of who you are. Like, remember. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm
Remember,
just
like
having these negative
Mufasa.
thoughts because I'm sick. It's okay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna feel better. And my thoughts will reflect that.
You're going to feel better. Your thoughts will feel better. This is a huge sign that Kelsey and I need to take care of ourselves right now. That's the number one priority. Take care of yourself and you will feel better. Do what
Yeah.
your body wants you to do because it knows it's trying, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Are you doing what you're supposed to do to help it out? And that's the question.
Right. Are we working with our body or are we working against our body? Because if you're eating
Mhm.
really bad, you're not getting sunshine, and you're stressing about everything, and you're not letting yourself get enough sleep, and you're never exercising, then I would say you're working against your body.
Yeah.
If you want to work for your body and with your body at all times to avoid, getting sick the most that you can, exercise is paramount. I don't know what the studies are of like how much more fortified your immune system is when you exercise, but even just a couple times a week is like something like tenfolds your immunity.
Yeah.
So exercise is huge. A big piece that people don't get in our day and age is sunshine because we're
Right.
inside so much. We're on the computer so much. Like, sunshine is paramount to staying healthy. Even if you can't go outside, if there's sun coming through the window, I love to just sit in it and just,
Mhm.
like, let it hit your face for a good 20 minutes a day is so, so, so beneficial.
Yeah.
Um, Good sleep cannot be overstated enough so that your body can function optimally. Good diet, this has been a piece that's been coming. I feel, like, really proud of myself because 'cause I've been eating way better the last couple of weeks since my last retreat, since I met Kyung, because she, like, literally like, looked me in the soul and was like, "You need to get it together," and I was like, "You're right. I do need to get it together. I cannot live on just, like, noodles and bread and
Seasoned
cereal for the
listeners
rest of
will
my life."
remember Seasoned listeners will remember that Kelsey has the palate of a 5-year-old, and
Yes,
she
but not
really likes
anymore.
but
It's
not
really
anymore.
evolved.
She had.
Yes, I had
Still
in the
doesn't eat
past
soggy
tense.
veggies, but that's okay.
But I
We'll
eat
figure
crunchy
that one.
ones,
She
so
That's what
that's a
Jack
step in
says,
the right
who is
direction.
6 years old. He's like, "I want the crunchy carrots. Don't cook them, please." And I was like, "Got it, buddy. As
Well,
long as
I've
you're
been
eating them, I don't
cooking
care."
them because Kyung told me that you should cook them a little bit because it helps you to digest them more easily
Yeah.
versus like an all raw diet is like kind of hard on your body, but not to the point where they get soggy. or
Mm,
like to the point where they start losing color. Because if they lose their color, then you cooked like all the nutrients out of them. So
mhm.
it's good that they're still colorful and, have a little bite to them, but not too soggy. We don't
Al
like those
dente.
soggy vegetables.
That's what you
Yes,
call al dente.
exactly, exactly. So diet is obviously paramount. I mean, we could do a whole episode on that, but we'll just leave it at the what's the word I'm looking for? And people say things all the time and it's like true, but it's
Cliche.
yeah, the cliche of you are what you eat.
Mhm.
And then, also avoiding slash minimizing stress. So maybe like where in your life are you chronically stressed and can you do something about that?
Yeah. Or just let yourself not worry about it. Let yourself do more of the things that make you happy, especially when you're sick. Let yourself do more of the things that make you happy or that make you peaceful or that speak to your well being. Let yourself do more of those things always, but especially when you're sick.
So what are you going to do today in that spirit?
You know what I've been thinking about? And
What?
it's usually the things that you're thinking about, but you don't let yourself do, but you're thinking about it for a little bit. And then you finally like, okay, fine, I'll do it. I have been thinking about pulling my big basket of crochet out and maybe making myself a new hat. Because I really love those little, I think in Canada, what are they called? Toques. I learned a new word from a Canadian friend. They're like
That's
the
so cute.
beanies, but they're called toques. I hope
Mhm.
that's right. Or torques. I can't remember. Toques. It's a toque, right, guys? And I want to make one because they're so cute and I need a hat for winter. It's getting very cold and I've
Oh,
never made one before.
crocheting. I love
So
that.
crocheting is very good for me because if I'm not doing something with my hands, I will pick up my iPad and play a game.
Yeah.
And as much as I love that and it is fun, gosh, you could waste days and days. And I tell my kids like screen time, I limit their screen time as I'm like on my iPad, which is not a good look. And I get it.
Yeah.
So I would love to be doing something else with my hands. Um, Crocheting, I love to crochet. If you guys knit or, I also I pulled out my crossword puzzle book because I'm a huge dork. I'm a grandmother, guys, and I love crossword puzzles. I love crocheting. I love reading, but I did a couple crossword pages the other day, and I hadn't done that in a long time. So, um, it felt really, really nice to be doing something that meant nothing except just made me happy in the moment, and it was just a nice feeling, and I wrapped up in a blanket and I did my little crossword. So if you guys have something like that, like maybe you like word searches or puzzles or maybe you like to knit. Yeah.
Well, those all sound too like super meditative, which is
Yes,
awesome.
they really are. They really are. They are very meditative. I find myself getting lost in thought in a good way when I do that. In a way that I don't usually let myself or that I don't usually get to do. So that's another reason that I didn't think of. But yes,
Yeah.
it
I
absolutely is.
just met a lady. I was selling books here locally at this like book fair thing, and this lady came up to my table and she was like, I can tell that you're one of me. And I was like, I knew that she was trying to say that I was like also a witchy medium type person, but I
Yeah.
wanted her to say it verbally before I like confirmed. I was like, what does she mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she went into this whole story about how she's this psychic medium lady and how these people come to her with these messages and they always come to her when she's crocheting. Because that's like when her mind's the most empty and she's really
What?
meditative. And that's like when all the messages come through. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start honing my intuition during crochet time for sure.
Yes. Hey there. We hope you're enjoying this episode so far, but if you want to listen to the whole thing, we're going to invite you over to our podcast. Either search for High Vibing It on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you guys listen to podcasts, or even better, if you want to watch the extended video version of this episode that's even longer than the actual podcast itself, head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/highvibe. Lindsay, tell them what's awesome about the Patreon.
Patreon is where we have all of our extended episodes. As Kelsey said, we have it on video so you can actually see the things that we're talking about. Sometimes we have visual visual aids and it's nice to know what we're talking about. We also have hangouts that we do sometimes that are exclusive to Patreon people. And you can get started with all of this and bonus content and everything that we have only for the Patreon people for as little as $3. I think it's $3.33 a month. And that's it. And you guys can get all the benefits and all access to everything that we put in there. Really
Yeah.
cool.
It's really cool, really fun, super easy to join. And you guys don't even have to do that to finish this episode. If you're like, screw it, I don't want to pay any money, I just want to hear the rest of this episode, go to our podcast, High Vibe in it, search for it wherever you listen. It's totally free. Either way, enjoy the rest of the show wherever you choose to enjoy it. And we will see you guys next week because we do a new one every week. Adios.
Bye.